In this lecture, we are going to do some setup so we can use the features of PaperZD to control the animations of the player. But first, let's review how we controlled the animations through the blueprint in the BP player. Let's open the BP player. Then we get into this update flipbook node. It's connected to the event tick. See, this is the old way. We have to use a lot of blueprint nodes to switch between the idle, walk, and jump animations. And this is just a very simple animation situation. In reality, a character usually have a lot more animations that need to be managed. So let me show you the power of PaperZD. It's going to make the management of the animations an easy job. Alright, when you look at the upper right corner, you're going to see the parent class of the BP player. It's paper character. To use the features of PaperZD, we need to change the parent class of this BP player first. This is also a great chance to show you how we can change the parent class of a blueprint class at any time. Just click Class Settings up here. Then you can change the parent class on the right side. Let's search for a class that is called PaperZD character. It says that a PaperZD character inherits from the Paper2D character class. This is why here we have the freedom to change from the paper character class to the PaperZD character class. Alright, just select PaperZD character. Then you might notice that right away on the left side, we have a new animation component. This component is going to help us manage the animations of the character. For this to work, it requires an animation blueprint. On the right side, we can set up an animation blueprint from the animation instance class here. But for now, you have nothing to select from, since we haven't created an animation blueprint. So let's save all the files and create an animation blueprint. Go to the BP folder under the game folder. But first, we need two new folders here. Let's create a folder called animation. Then inside the animation folder, let's make another folder called player. Let's get into the player folder. Right-click and go to PaperZD. What we need is this Paper2D animation blueprint. But if we try to create it now, we just cannot do it. It requires an animation source to work. Every animation blueprint needs an animation source to manage all of the animations. So we need to first create an animation source. Let's right-click again and go to PaperZD. Select Animation Source. I just want to change a part of the name, but the current name is already too long, so it's not fully displayed here. It's very hard for me to see what's going on here. So let's switch the view type to list. And now we can see the full name. Let's change the name to Player Animation Source. Personally, I like this list view better because we see the full name and the type of the file to the right. It makes it easier for us to identify the file that we're looking for. Alright, let's open the player animation source file. Previously, we had created many flipbooks for the animations, but here we need to create a new animation sequence for each animation. Let's call the first one Player Idle. The name of the animation sequence here is the name we are going to use in the animation blueprint later on. On the right side, we can select a flipbook for this animation sequence. Let's select the Player Idle flipbook. Alright, we have our first animation sequence. Let's just repeat the steps to create 3 more. The second one is called Player Run. Set the animation to the Player Run flipbook. And the next animation sequence is called Player Jump Up. Then select the Player Jump Up flipbook here. And the last animation sequence is called Player Jump Down. The flipbook is Player Jump Down. Alright, we're done here. Let's save all the files and close the player animation source window. I just want to mention that when you look into the content drawer, you're going to see a new folder that's called Animation Sequences. And inside is all of the animation sequence files that we just created in the animation source. So when we were creating the sequences back there, those files and the folder were created automatically. Let's go back up to the player folder. Now we can create an animation blueprint. Let's select PaperZD animation blueprint. Then we can select the player animation source we just created. Let's name the new file player animbp. Save the file and go back to the BP player. With the animation component selected on the left side, we can go to the right side, select the player animation blueprint we just created. Now, we do want to use the blueprint nodes that we created for the animations previously. So I'm going to disconnect the update flipbook node from the event tick. But I'm not going to delete the update flipbook node. I mean, we are not going to use it anymore, but you might want to keep it here as a reference. Later on, if you want to refresh your memory on how to control the animations using the blueprint nodes, well, you can come back to it. Alright, we're done for this lecture. And now when we run the game, all of the animations are not going to work. And in the next lecture, let's make them work with the animation blueprint.